And we're back here on SportsLine. Big hockey nights. It has been a big hockey month. The Predators now headed into Game 7 in San Jose on Thursday night. Still waiting for the time on that game. Does not look like there will be another Game 7 on Thursday night because the Penguins are all over Barry Trotz and the Capitals right now. 3-0 midway through the second period in the Igloo in Pittsburgh. Penguins would win the series tonight, and that would mean that Trotzy and his team that set a record for points this year, the President's Trophy champion, would be done in round 2. Who had the Predators going farther than Trotzy and the Capitals in this postseason? Crazy how hockey can work itself out. But the Caps are in deep, deep trouble right now. If there's no Game 7 on Thursday, it'll mean the Preds and Sharks are the only game Thursday night, which may be better for us here in Nashville, hoping for a little bit earlier starting time than what we've had in some of these West Coast games up till now. Obviously, if the Capitals come back, then they would play Thursday night. That game time's already been announced. It would be at 7 Eastern, 6 Central in D.C., Chances are you're looking at a doubleheader, which probably means at least a 9 o'clock Central start time for the Preds out west. So, again, if you're hoping for Barry Trotz, the old Preds coach, wishing him well because we love him so much, you want the Capitals to come back. If you're hoping for an earlier bedtime on Thursday and still being able to watch the Predators out west, you're rooting for the Penguins to hold on to this lead. Let's get back into last night's game, though. The Predators able to outlast the Sharks again. Great rally from 2-0 down. Get it into overtime, and then don't have to go 51 minutes this time. Just 2 minutes and 3 seconds. And Victor Arvidsson put the Preds on the board with his first ever Stanley Cup playoff goal. And even this series at 3, forcing another Game 7.
Really good. Awesome. It was a great feeling to see the puck going in that, so it was awesome.
Considering you've been so close on the doorstep so many times in this series, how does it feel to finally break through at home?
Of course it feels good. I have had a lot of chances and I haven't buried them, and then I managed to bury this, so it was really nice.
Down 2-0 to start, down 3-2 in the third. What does it say about this team's resiliency to just keep fighting back the way you have?
We believe in each other and we believe in our game plan, and I think we really hung in there today and just kept playing our game, and the result was good.
Back on the road for another Game 7. You guys have done this before, right? Been down this road before. What's the confidence level?
Yeah, of course it's high. We just got to go in there and play our game, and with a lot of speed and energy.
Victor, were you able to play a little bit more offensively tonight, being on the first line?
I don't know. I was trying to work hard and create room for my line mates and turn over pucks and stuff like that. So yeah, it's 2 really good players I'm playing with. So I think we had a lot of time in those ones.
Were you? I assume that's where you were trying to go with the shot up over the shoulder like that?
Yeah, I just tried to get it on net, and then I got a really good touch on it and it went over his shoulder. So it was nice to see it going.
The hero of Game 6, Victor Arvidsson, after scoring the game-winning goal last night, he certainly benefited from moving up to the top line. Just played well, skated around the ice all night long, made an impact for the Preds. Another guy who's benefited from the line change, Colin Wilson, part of that great line with Mike Fisher and James Neal. But frankly, I think you could put Colin Wilson on any line you want in the playoffs. This guy is Mr. Playoffs. I mean, we've renamed him at this point. Playoffs Colin Wilson. The old DirecTV joke of some guy has satellite, other guy has cable, you know. Colin Wilson is regular season Colin Wilson and then playoffs Colin Wilson. Last year was good, but not sensational in the regular season. He gets into the playoffs, he leads the Preds in goals. Was a great point scorer for the Preds in the 6-game epic series, really, against the Blackhawks before they went on to win the Stanley Cup title last year. This year, Wilson had 24 points in 67 games, battled injuries, struggled, never really got going. He had 6 goals, 24 points for the whole season. Just wasn't his year. He gets into the playoffs, and now he can't be stopped again. He's got, I believe, 13 points now in the postseason. Got another goal last night. Big one. Tied it up and helped the Predators survive to fight another day. Colin Wilson, playoffs. Colin Wilson speaking with the media afterwards.
You guys just refuse to give up the season on the line. What do you say about the resiliency of this team?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of belief in this dressing room. Doesn't matter, what the score is. We're going to keep throwing our best game at the other team, and I think we did a good job of that. I was just trying to drive through the middle, and Ribby brought it over the line, and I saw him go over to Naylor, and I just trying to get to the net, and they both made great plays, and I just had to tap it in. So that was definitely in the back of my mind as I saw it coming to me. Don't fan.
What was the team thinking when we fell behind? There was sort of a feeling like, oh boy, it's over. But you guys never thought that at all.
No, I don't think anybody thought it was over. I think with the game that we were playing, we were certainly bringing the game to them. And we were getting our chances. They got a good, they got a power play goal, and we've been there before and tied it up. So I think there was just a lot of belief.
You've also been to a Game 7 on another team's ice and came out great. How much does that help you as you head into another Game 7 this time in San Jose?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to help a lot. I think we've been there before. We have a confident group, and I don't know. I mean, our team just has a really good way of embracing things and believing in our team.
Yeah, why does this team just refuse to give up? I mean, you got backs against the wall again and again, and y'all don't give up.
Yeah, I think we play our best when our back's against the wall for some reason. But I mean, it's a belief system, and I think with the team that we have here, I mean, we really do have a lot of skill, a lot of talent, and I don't know, we've been kind of an underrated team for a bit. So I don't know. I mean, it's the pesky Preds.
How much fun is this, both for you and this team?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's doing a great job of embracing it. It's not necessarily like, a nervousness in our dressing room. I think everybody's having fun, and I think when you know that you throw your best game at another team, you have a chance every night of winning. I think, it's a fun run.
You gonna trademark pesky Preds?
Yeah, I think we've been pesky for a while, so yeah.
The pesky Preds, I love it. Colin Wilson cut it up with the media afterwards, and you were allowed to when you were playing as well as he is playing in the playoffs, and your team is still alive. And you think about it, a lot of teams, people thought had great shots in this postseason. The Blackhawks, defending Stanley Cup champs, done in round 1. The Ducks, hottest team going into the playoffs, done in round 1. The Kings, another team that's been a thorn in the side of a lot of teams in the playoffs, have won Stanley Cups over the past couple of years. Done in round 1. Dallas, St. Louis, struggling here in round 2. Predators giving the Sharks everything they can handle. The Capitals perhaps going down tonight in the Eastern Conference. It's hard. Hockey's a hard thing. You can get yourself in position, but in the playoffs, so much has to go right. Your goaltender has to be good. In some cases, he has to outplay a good goaltender or a goaltender playing well on the other side of the rink. And then you got to get performances from your guys. You've got to have your best players step up in big games, and you also have to have the depth lines. Have the guys give you some greasy goals. And if you look at this Predators teams right now, the stars for the most part in the playoffs have been there. Colin Wilson has played like a star. James Neal has played like a star. Mike Fisher has been a star in these playoffs. Last night you get a big goal from Ryan Johansson. Roman Josi last night gets you a goal. Shea Weber's done it at times for the Preds. But you also have some depth. Game 7 in Anaheim, Paul Gostad gets a huge goal for the Preds in that game. Not a guy you expect to get offense from, but he got a big one in Game 7, a game that they had to have. Last night, the winner comes from Victor Arvidsson. Not expecting that. It looked like a harmless puck. into the attacking zone. Arvidsson didn't have traffic in front of the net. He had a defender on him. It didn't seem like it would be a good chance at all, and then the puck is in the net. Huge goal for the Predators, and also to me, that right there, that sequence, same thing for the Fisher goal in Game 4 in triple overtime. Those types of things are what make the Stanley Cup playoffs must-watch TV. Because anything can happen, and it happens like that. So quickly, the games change. Winners are determined. And so if you get to the 10-minute mark of the third period, and it's a tie game or a one-goal game, you can't look away because you're going to miss what wins the game. You can't look away. And if you add elimination in then as a factor, it just becomes unbelievable. It's almost like sensory overload sometimes in hockey. Because essentially, especially if it's a tie game, under 10 minutes to go, it's almost like you're in overtime. It's almost like it is sudden death at that point. And things just happen so quickly. And we've seen that now a couple times in this playoffs. It's gone for the Preds. And maybe that experience last year against the Blackhawks really helps them out because that was a great series. At times the Predators outplayed Chicago last year. But the Blackhawks were able to win 2 multi-overtime games. Double overtime in Game 1, triple overtime in Game 3. And that's why they were champions. They've been around the block several times. They know the drill in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and they just hung around and hung around and hung around and did the right things, played with you, and eventually got the goal to win. And that's how they escaped last year against the Predators. But that was a very young Predators team, and perhaps they learned some things from that because they've been great in these overtimes. Now 4 of them in the series. A lot of extra hockey played. It'll be Game 7, but in essence, it's Game 8 on Thursday night for the Preds. If it goes to overtime, you got to believe they're going to be a confident bunch once again. All right, we got to take a break. We will come back. We'll hear from Pekka Rinne, who's been fantastic in this series, and some more guys as well. Also, phone line still open, 737-7767. What do you think about these Preds? What do you think about their chances in Game 7 Thursday? We want to hear from you. Stay with us. This is SportsLine on News Channel 5+.